Hello and welcome to Textile Tales. My name's Claire and I'm a textile artist. I live in the northeast of England and I like to make lots of crazy things. And today what I'm doing is I'm actually want to talk a little bit about my ADHD journey and also to show you what I've been making involving an umbrella. Okay, I'm in my living room today instead of my den, just because there's a little bit more space in here, and I also have an umbrella open. I don't normally open umbrellas in my house. I'm a little bit superstitious. However, on this occasion, I decided I'd let this go. So what I've got here is, as you can see, an umbrella which I have opened out just to demonstrate how I want this piece to look. So it's based on the theme of shelter, and I really liked the idea of using an umbrella and playing with the idea of an umbrella being something that you would use to shelter from the rain, but also as a metaphor for my experience of having lived for a very long time with undiagnosed ADHD. So what I've done is I have created a little, it's like a cloak over the top. This is just a see-through umbrella that I just got online, and I have created a little cover. And I've done a series of portraits that I had created some time ago. Actually, I created these for another project, but I used the templates and traced around them and thought it would be really appropriate for this piece. So I'm going to just raise it up and turn it around. And you can see each piece has some text underneath it. This one says dismissed, this one failure, this one stupid, and this is the kind of thing that other people have said to me or accused me of, as I say, with undiagnosed ADHD. So this one says lazy, that was a very common thing. This one says daft, you're a bit daft, you. Unworthy, that's an emotion that's definitely come through over the years. And sorry, how many times did I have to go around apologising just because I had, say, forgotten something or had misunderstood something or had, messed up on something. So each one of these pieces forms part of a panel, and my intention is to continue decorating this on the outside. So this top part here, and what I loved about this fabric was it's tie-dyed with a dark kind of greyish blue colour. So it actually looks quite stormy, like storm clouds, and I really liked that effect, and I wanted to use that to its best advantage. So my intention is on this top part to create clouds, like storm clouds, and have like rain coming down. So it's obviously raining on the figures, and it's an umbrella. Now then, get on with my sewing. Hey, get on with my sewing. Hey, get on with my sewing. Monkey. Hey, you're a monkey. Oh dear. There are two parts to this umbrella. So there's the outside, where obviously that's about rain and being rained on and being judged. It's very much about others judging me. And then on the inside, I want that to be bright, colourful and joyful. And that's how I felt when I got given my diagnosis. When I was given that answer, it felt a massive relief, like I had suddenly been told, you know, I'm not stupid, I'm not daft, I'm not lazy. This is just lies that people said because they made these judgments of me, and their perception of me was all of this negative stuff, but that was not the truth. So here is the other side. This is going to be the inside of the umbrella. And what I've started to do is to create a sun. And this is obviously when the sun comes out, metaphorically speaking. So I've got these, I've started to pin down these little strips of fabric, different colours, and create this effect. So I've got, hopefully this will start to look very sun-like. I've had this is the hole in the centre where I want the top part to be attached. Now I haven't yet worked out quite how I'm going to attach it yet. It might be that I have to keep both of these covers effectively on the outside, and then I might take away the plastic part and sew it somehow to the framework. Haven't yet worked that out. I'm sure I'll be able to sort that out when I get to it. But for now, I have maintained this hole in the centre so I can actually get the thing on and over the top. And also, whilst I carry on and talk a little bit about this, what I've done is I've used interfacing in the inside, and there's good reason for that. It just gives it a little bit of stiffness and allows me, when I start my free machine embroidery over the top of this, it just means that this fabric isn't going to pucker and wrinkle, and it's easier to manipulate and move about. Now the shape of this is slightly curved, so I've had to put the interfacing on in sections and little pieces, so it does look a little bit messy on the other side. However, I'm sure it's going to be fine when it is finished. So you can see that I've had to do these sections to the size of my interfacing and put these little bits around the edge as well. I also hopefully will have some little I don't know what you'd call them. They're like bunting that you'd see. It's like little flag things that are going to come out. I'm sure they've got a technical name, but anyway, I have created some of these. So this hopefully is what it's going to look like. These are the little pieces that are going to get attached. So obviously this is going to go around, like, if I can show you, it's going to get attached to the bottom like so, and be hanging down, and, you know, give a little bit of an edge to it. So hopefully this should look really beautiful and colourful. And I've embroidered some words as well on it. So this one says calm, and I've also got joy, which is also what I felt. And I'm going to continue to create a number of these all the way around, and also decorate the other side as well, because at the moment the other side of this is a little bit, you know, you can see like this is where the thread got tangled up. But my intention is to cover this over, and I haven't yet decided if I want to use the same fabric or a different fabric. I might use a bit more of that orange that I've used for the portraits, and put some more text on. I will see how it all evolves and how it goes. But for now, let's do a bit more sewing. So this could be a little bit tricky to sew. I am trying to film from above so you can see what I'm trying to do. What I've got on my sewing machine here is a free machine embroidery foot that I've attached, and I've dropped the feed dogs as well, so the fabric should slide around in whatever direction I need it to go. So here we go. Hopefully I will be able to sew this on. As I say, it might be a little bit tricky at this stage, and I'm working from the middle outwards because the middle is often tricky. And yeah, let's hopefully see how this goes. Right, let's get it as flat as I can get it. I do actually have a quilter's bit that could go onto the machine actually. Anyway, I'm not sure where that is. I might go and hunt for that later if this is a struggle, but let's have a go. Okay, now I've sewn the middle. You can see that it's looking a little bit more stable in terms of the fabrics attached and sewn down. What I'm going to do is continue to build this up in layers. So at the moment it looks a little bit scruffy, but it will begin to look better once I've built up some more layers. And yeah, I'm going to continue with my sewing. My intention was to show you my sun when it was finished, but as you can see, I have a little furry creature that's decided to sit on my sewing, as they do. Now she's moved a little bit. Let me show you the centre. So you can see that I've sewn a little bit in the centre and used free machine embroidery to decorate it. And now I plan on stitching some rays of light coming out, and they have some words on them. So that is the next step of the plan. When my little Mogsy moves. Okay, I've just paused as I've run out of thread to take a look at the overall effect that is being created here. Sometimes it's good to do that so I can adjust anything or change the effect. what I may do at this stage is actually change the thread and create more lines in a different coloured thread, just to give it that extra bit of texture and strength. What I have noticed though is I do have some puckering and some wrinkling going on. So yeah, I think I just need to be a little bit careful. It's okay, it doesn't look too bad. They do look like they're being rained on, the figures, and I think, you know, it is giving quite a nice effect. But you can see there is some wrinkling and some puckering here. So I think maybe just to be a little bit careful with this and see, you know, continue to build it up in layers and see if I can get a nice overall effect at the end. Right, I have now finished, or certainly done a lot more work on the outside of my umbrella, and now you can see the clouds and the sparkly fabric that I've sewn in, and I think it looks okay. We've got a nice little cover going on, and if I just move the camera down, you can see as well, I really like that effect, the way it looks like it is raining on the figures, and yeah, I think that's going to work. And this part is the inside of the umbrella, and you can see now I've added the two layers together. It is slightly wrinkling up inside. I think it needs to be stretched over the frame and actually sewn into this metal part here, and hopefully then it will give it a nice stretched, smooth finish. And also, having thought about this, I think I will remove this plastic and cut this out, and just use the actual frame to help just stretch the piece over, and hopefully it will give the right effect. I think it does. It's certainly getting there. You know, we have the rain and the rain clouds on the other side, and the figures with all the negativity, and then on the inside we have the sun and the positive words. I'm not sure if I want to do something around this area here. I think, you know, doing perhaps something around the edge might help. Yeah, perhaps some more colourful text, or I don't know. I'm going to think about that. Maybe just some colourful decoration just to finish it off might be in order. Is it playtime? Is it playtime? Yeah, is it playtime? 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 No sewing, just playtime. No sewing, just playtime, eh? Eh? Yes, yes. Right, I've got so far with my textile piece. I am now finishing off the sun part, and this is the inside of the umbrella, which is basically all the positivity and the light coming through and all that sort of stuff. However, I've got so far with it, and I'm having a bit of a crisis of confidence, and I don't know if this happens to other people, that when they're halfway through making something, you start to question things and reflect on things and think, am I doing this the right way? Have I chosen the right colours? I'm not sure if this is working out the way I want it to. And all of those questions start to go through my mind, and I start to think, should I do it again? Is it good enough? All of that stuff. And I don't know why this repeatedly happens, but it does. I tend to find that I get partway through something, I feel okay with it, and then I seem to hit this roadblock. It usually happens when I've almost completed it and I am nearly there, and then I start to think, oh, is it good enough? What more can I do? Does it look right? And I start to feel, it's almost like I lose confidence in my work. And I don't know why that happens. It's really frustrating, and it does seem to repeatedly happen to me. Anyway, so these are the thoughts and feelings that I've been having, and this is what I've been going through. So what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about how far I've got, what my thinking process is, and the sort of decisions that I'm trying to make right now as I've got sort of so far with it. Right, so you can see that this is the work that I've completed, and how far I've got with this section. I've done my rays of sunlight, I've done the centre, I've done the text. What I'm struggling with now is whether this finishing off is going to look right and how comfortable I feel about it. So I've chosen this fabric because this fabric actually matches the another section which I have completed. Let me see if I can find one. Right. So yeah, this here are the little bits that they're like little flags that I want coming down from the bottom of the umbrella. So they're going to fit around the bottom, something like that, and get attached like that. And these are quite colourful. It's got lots of different kinds of fabric in. It's got some nice, I just loved the colours and I loved this effect. So that's going to go around the bottom, and I started to think about how I can, I suppose, help it look like this isn't as detached, and that it's going to, what's the word, assimilate, and that the fabric's going to mesh together basically. And so that's what I've done. I've tried to create this effect here. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm again playing with my sparkly fabric. I love my sparkly fabric. I'm thinking what I can do is put some lines of this down and see how this looks. I quite like the effect of that. So I'm going through lots of decision-making processes at the moment and trying to decide where to go next, how it's going to look, whether it's going to feel cohesive, and all of that detail sometimes is the tricky part. Sometimes, you know, it's easy when you start off and you have an idea in your head and you choose your colours and you think, oh yes, I'm going to do this, this and this. And then, yeah, sometimes it's the detail. The devil is in the detail, as they say. So this, this is where I've hit my stumbling block, and I guess I'm just going to have to work it through and keep playing with the different fabrics and the different effects and see where I get. Now I'm starting to sew on the little flag parts at the bottom, you can see here, and I'm sewing right sides together so people can see. So this matches this, it says unfocused, and here underneath it says why can't I remember things. So hopefully as this goes all the way around the piece, you will see these little bits hanging down, and they should, when it's finished, look very beautiful. As I've developed my piece and started sewing more and more parts to it, it's become much heavier. And actually the original umbrella that I had, which was this one, is unfortunately not strong enough to take the weight of it. It's also not quite big enough, so I've had to go out and buy a more substantial man's umbrella, which is much heavier and stronger and bigger. So now hopefully this will be able to take the weight and be the right size for it. So on to the next part, sewing it to the actual frame of the umbrella and finishing it off. Now I've managed to finish my umbrella project, and as you can see, this is the inside of it, and this on the other side is the outside of it. I'm actually really pleased with it. I think it's worked really well, and hopefully you know, it will get the chance to be shown and exhibited.